Welcome to the Seer Show. Join us as we dive into the dynamic world of health, wellness, mindset, and fitness with the unparalleled guidance of lifelong knowledge seekers, Sifu Raphael and Nikki Gangemi. Sifu and Nikki will unlock groundbreaking insights with extraordinary guests from around the globe. You'll get the latest holistic approaches to well-being with a sharp focus on the powerful connection between mind, body, and soul. Get ready to take the leap. It's time to embrace a brighter and healthier future with us at the Seer Show.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, Nikki. How are you?
Good morning, Sifu. I'm doing excellent. And how are you this fine morning?
I am exceptional and getting better every day.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah, thank you for loving it.
Only always.
If I don't believe it myself, who else will believe it, right?
Well, exactly. I know. And when you tell yourself something, every day, it becomes, your default.
It's my mantra.
It's your mantra. Yeah, it's something that you fully believe and can stand behind.
Yeah. I have to believe it, don't I?
Yeah. I think it's a very healthy belief.
Yeah. I'm excited for today's show. It's seeing the link between purpose and power. And we have two exceptional human beings who are going to be joining us and helping us with that discussion. So let's go ahead and bring in Caleb and Dr. B. Good morning, gentlemen.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Great morning. Great to see you both.
Nice to see you guys.
So what are your thoughts on seeing the link between purpose and power? Who wants to take that?
I'm going to pass the mic off to Dr. B just because I want to open the door for him first.
Well, thank you. I love the fact. And so my life is dedicated. I try to make it dedicated to helping people become the person that God put you on this planet to be. And so there is, when I think about that link that you just talked about, Sifu, is that link is once you know what your purpose is and you know why you're here, now you have exceptional power to be able to do it. It's when we flounder around trying to figure out, well, what should I do? How should I do it? I really don't like what I'm doing. You almost feel powerless because you're not making a difference. But once you know what you're doing, oh my gosh, now you can step into that and become exactly who God made you to be.
Very good. I liked what Dr. B is saying. I'm going to go a step further and take that off as well, that the link between purpose and power is walking in what I call our DNA of design. And each one of us has an individual purpose on the earth, which is great. Is Sifu's is individual Sifu, Nikki's to Nikki's, Dr. B to Dr. B, and mine to mine. And that is, we're bridging this spiritual insight with practical real world strategy. And the DNA of design is part of that, walking our individual purpose, because a vision without strategy is just hallucination.
Oh,
I like that.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well said.
It's so interesting when we do know our purpose, because and we don't have to flounder anymore. I like that as well. There's so many people who are, if you would call a fish out of water, they're floundering on your boat, right? They're flipping and flopping and not knowing where. But once they hit the water again, if you catch and release type of fisherman just for the fun of it, then you see the difference in that fish. When it's in its element, it knows how to move. Outside of its element, man, it is definitely floundering. It's trying to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's a great metaphor. I actually, thinking about this now, I feel like when I've disconnected from the purpose that I know, that I'm flipping and I'm floundering. And then when I reconnect to it and just tune out all the noise, everything, and just connect inside, out of my head and into my body, that's where I feel like I'm stepping into the power that is inside of us always. We have access to it.
Yep. 100%. Just to coattail off of that, like it makes me think of the phrase that comes from the Bible, actually, wearing somebody else's armor. I'm not sure if everybody here on the call has heard that, but it comes from the story of David and Goliath. And when David challenged Goliath, the King Saul said, well, in order for you to be successful, we've all heard that before, you got to put on my armor, the king's armor. Otherwise, you're not going to win. And David tried to put on the armor, and what happened? He said, I can't wear this because I'm not designed for it. And therefore, he cast the armor aside, and then he took his staff and his sling, and the rest is history, right? He slew a giant and won a great victory. But I like to say this, is that if I try to put on somebody else's armor, if I try to be Shifu, I try to be Nikki, I try to be Dr. B, I'm not going to fulfill my calling on the earth, and I have to put my armor on. But what do you guys all think about that?
It made me think of a specific example. Over the last maybe 8 years, I've worked with different business coaches. And anytime I try to follow their model and do what they said to get the results that they have gotten, I have not gotten those results. And then upon reflection, realizing, well, there was just something that wasn't me in that. And so, yeah, wearing somebody else's armor is not the answer.
You know, we
It might not fit right.
What is that?
Yeah.
I said it might not fit right. It might be uncomfortable.
That's right. It didn't fit right. But trying to make it fit, it's like square peg, round hole kind of thing.
Well, and if, like you said, if it's not designed to fit, you know, we try to do that so much in our country or where we're at, where we say, okay, you're going to go to school and you're going to learn these certain things, and then they say, go to school, get a great education, then you'll get a great job and you'll be happy. That's so cookie cutter. Not every child is designed to go to a 4-year college and learn philosophy and, you know, end up in the world and go, okay, now I'm gonna make it in my life, right? At some point we have to choose. I can remember when it was time to choose, in my case, a major. Well, what major do I want to do? I wanted to go to stunt school. I wanted to be a stuntman. That's what I wanted to do. And, you know, my mom convinced me to go to college. Now that I'm glad I did, but I had no desire whatsoever to go to college. I just happened to be a pretty good athlete, and college was going to be paid for, and that was my mom's dream for me. So how many of us get locked into the dreams of somebody else, or because somebody else told us this is what we're supposed to do, or somebody else said you're going to be good at that, and then we go do it? Countless times I talk to somebody and they say, yeah, I'm doing this because my family told me this is what I should do, and they're not happy.
I had a client who went to law school, passed the bar, became a lawyer, and quit, I think, 3 months as being a lawyer, and finally went for his passion, which was computers. He's happy now. But can you imagine going through all that schooling and passing the bar, which is not necessarily easy for people to do, becoming a full-fledged lawyer, working at a corporation, and hating it?
Yeah.
Oof. His purpose was not there. It was, like you said, Dr. B, it was somebody else's purpose. And because everybody in his family was a lawyer, so he felt like he had to fit. He's a square peg trying to fit into a hole. Or maybe he's a square peg trying to fit into a square small hole. Right? And so a lot of times, I've known people who are in their 40s and 50s who still don't know their purpose. I've known my purpose since I was a kid, which is crazy because for me it was simple. I knew my purpose. I've known it all along. And when I hear people saying, I still don't know my purpose, I'm like, what? Didn't you pay attention?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, makes me think of a question here. Just want to ask out loud. Can you guys, can we all imagine just for a second if the great Alan Turing, who helped break Enigma in World War II, had decided that he was going to take a different career path than being a mathematician or a brilliant mind, that he was going to be an athlete or he was going to be a politician. But thank God that he didn't do any of those things. But him and his colleagues were brilliant mathematicians and minds that helped break Enigma, and is one of the main reasons why we're having this conversation live on the Seer Show, is because we have that ability to have freedom of speech, because the Nazis were defeated, because freedom of speech and the freedom of the Western world was able to exist. And I step all back to say this, is that if my purpose, the link between purpose and power, if my purpose does not outlive me, because Alan Turing is gone, but his purpose still outlives him. If my purpose does not outlive me, then I haven't been following the right purpose.
You gave me deep thought, Caleb. What if the Nazis would have won?
Yep.
Where would even technology be in the world? Where would we be as a human race? We don't know, and I'm glad that we don't know. I don't think it would be better, right? And it's very interesting that life does question you every day. We can't live in what ifs, but we can live in what if I can. What if I am? What if I am supposed to do something and I stop myself from doing it because I'm terrified, I'm afraid. I'm afraid of failure. Heck, I fail every day. If you want to count somebody who fails a lot, just look at me.
Oh my gosh.
PhD in failure, right? I think we all want to have that.
There we go. Well, one of the things that I would love to just kind of interject here is that there's something that I believe we all are designed for that's part of our purpose, and that is to be in community.
Yeah.
And sometimes we get so busy in our daily lives, we get so busy in the things that we're trying to accomplish, that we forget that we need to be in community with others. The fact that we get to talk today, and that other folks are watching us and seeing this and going, hey, what is it that's about them that looks like me that I can get into? And then being present in the moment. We were so distracted in these days that when I am in community, I'm looking at another device, right? You go to like a restaurant and you see people that took time to pay for a meal, that took time to be together, and yet they're so distracted out on their phones and listening to other people and doing other things. And if we can really I think we can find our purpose why we're in community, because now we know what's missing and that what we're good at filling up or being able to do. And so how do we get into more times when we get to be in community with people? Because that is part of all of our purpose, I believe.
We got to be intentional about that.
Yeah.
About being present with the people that we're with.
Every day. We have to, be meaningful about our connections. And who are you going to meet with today? Every day, we should be making connections with new people, old people, people that were around. I heard a statistic, I'll try to tell you about a statistic the other day that said 90% of the people that you interact with today on a consistent basis, in 5 years, you won't be interacting with them anymore. And that's scary. And I think it's okay to take advantage of those moments that, Nikki, I may not be having a conversation with you 5 years from now. So I got to get it all in right now, the way I look at it, because I hope I do. I hope we're connected. I hope that we're that tight that we do. But when I go through my phone that has 5,000 or 6,000 names in it, I can literally go through and say, I haven't talked to this person in 5 years. I haven't talked to this person in 5 years. I haven't talked to them. We go look at it. So how do we make sure that we take advantage of every moment that we have right now?
Yeah.
You reach out through social media. I'm just kidding.
That's the way these days.
It's interesting. I just did an event in Tampa, and we went to a meeting after the meeting after the meeting after the meeting, because that's usually after the event. And then we get together, and the conversations get deeper and deeper and deeper as the longer that we're all getting together. And in one of the places that we went to, this rooftop bar, and I love rooftop bars. They're so much fun. There was a sign, and I took a picture of it. It didn't come out too well, but because it was a neon sign, and the neon sign said, don't I know you from somewhere?" That was pretty funny, and that's why I took a picture of it. It was pretty interesting, and it was a huge sign. It said, "Don't I know you from somewhere?" And I think that was a great sign, because it allows us to understand. It's like, maybe I don't know you, but I will after today, because I met you here, right? And then later on, when you say, "That person looks familiar. Don't I know you from somewhere?" And was it 5 years ago that we met? Because if you see somebody 5 years later and you didn't see them for 5 years, you know they're going to look slightly different.
Yeah.
Maybe fully different. Depends. Ladies, you change your hair, you change everything. Us guys, we either get less hair or we have to put on a wig or something. So it's a little different for the guys, but for the ladies, you have so many choices. Ladies wear all kinds of different hats, and I've seen women in different hair colors and all this kind of stuff. So it's really interesting. But when we consider our lives, it is a journey. And if we look at our timeline, what are the most important moments that have given us purpose so that we can take power from those moments?
Yep. It's really, Shifu, you're bringing to mind one of the things that one of my mentors told me many years ago when he passed. He's been passed for several years, but one thing he encouraged me in as a teenager, this was probably almost 20 years ago, he said, "Caleb, be content with the state that you're in, because you'll be in many different states." So he was talking in metaphor, but also probably prophesying as well in the future, because I've been to many international places. But he was saying that to say, is what, echoing everything what you're saying right now, what we're saying right now, we have to be present in a culture that's trying to get us from one place to the next and be a hamster on the wheel. We really do have to be present, because this moment right now between myself, Dr. B, Shifu, Nikki, this moment will never be replicated ever again to the exact same degree. Therefore, I have to invest everything that I have into this moment to speak, but also to listen and to go with the flow of the conversation, because that's really what it's about. We have to step back, smell the flowers, enjoy the fragrance, and not be too in a hurry to get to tomorrow, because tomorrow takes care of itself. It has its own worries. But today, the present, like Master Oogway said in Kung Fu Panda, I'm a real nerd for cartoons, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery. But today is the present. Today is a gift. That's why you treat it like the present.
I love that. You just gave me an idea, Caleb. I was listening this morning to a talk on letting go and the art of letting go. And I was just thinking, if we really allowed ourselves to be present, like right now we're in this conversation, those watching, you're listening to the conversation, do comment and share your thoughts with us. But if you could be in the present, and it's almost like you're just totally like sucking all the marrow out of it and just really be there and then let it go. Perhaps we'll cross paths again. Maybe we won't. But it's like, just enjoy, let go, enjoy, release. Yeah. And that feels really good to me right now. So I'm going to do it.
I'm glad to hear that you like that movie too. It's very interesting that there's so many great messages in movies like that, and they're geared for kids, but the power of the message is so interesting that if we can start to create those messages for kids and they actually listen right? Because the kid in you, Caleb, listened, right? The kid in me listened, right? Master Uwe, think about all the important aspects of what he said. And it is a cartoon, but somebody put thought into that. And because it could be a kid movie and they didn't put that much thought in it. It's just like boom, 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 and just get the kids excited about something. But now all of a sudden, there's a deeper message that we're delivering. And so when you think about the cartoons out there, some of them are brilliant, some of them are trash.
Yeah.
So if you do have kids, be careful which ones they're listening to, because some of them are going to help your child. The other ones are going to hurt your child, because all they're doing is, there's a lot of cartoons out there that are violent. Think about Tom and Jerry, right? The old Tom and Jerry. Think about, have you seen the rabbit, right? Have you seen my rabbit? And he's there to shoot him. Right? So think about all the different. So Disney has really captured something important for all of us to consider. And it's not just Disney, but other movies, and even who realized that the power of cartoons was somebody who realized that we needed these things in our hands. Right? Steve Jobs invested heavily into making movies to create something that can outlast us all.
Yeah, my son actually works for Pixar, and just when you go to the facility and you see the thought process that Steve Jobs put into even the way that it designed so people could come together in relationship. The right side of the building is where all the creatives are, and they have a hallway down the middle that has all the bathrooms and all the places you can eat. And then the left side of the left building is all where the technology and the people do everything. And he said that there's no bathrooms on either wing. They have to come together. Right brain, left brain has to come together in order to be in community, to be able to work fully and completely. It is just, it's so amazing. And this is to make cartoons, right? Pixar is all about making cartoons, but there's so much in it, And Sifa, you said something about that I thought was so great, is you were talking about, not the distractions that we have, but you said that, oh my God, it dropped out of my head, but what it reminded me of is that, the past is the past. You talked about the present, but we don't spend enough time in what is going to happen, and we should be not the same. That's what you said, is we are the same. We should look the same, or we look differently. I hope that I look different in 5 years, because I'm growing, I'm not dying. And so many of us, when you meet with your old friends or your old folks, and all they want to talk about is what happened in 1983, you go, I don't care about what happened in 1983. What are you doing now? And their life been dying so much that now they can't move into the future. And so we have to grow. We have to move forward. And if I don't look different, if Nikki, you don't look different, if Sifa, you don't look, if Cable, you don't look different in 5 years, what have you been doing? What impact have you made on the world? And then what are you doing today so that you do look different in 5 years?
Actually, Dr. B, this is how I looked in high school. I'm just telling you.
Oh, I know. We try so hard to look, at least I'm speaking for my women, right? It's like you want to look like you did in your 20s, even if you're not anymore. But I like that perspective, Dr. B. Like, you don't want to look the same in 5 years because you want evidence that you've grown.
Yeah, if you're not growing, you're dying, right? Like a flower, that's what they say. A flower is either growing or dying, and you don't want to be dying. But so many of us, because we're not in our purpose, because we're not doing the things we love, we've all met people that, wow, you look you look older physically, but you look the same mentally. You look the same. You're saying the same things. You're talking to the same people. You're going to the same, imagine it, Sifu in martial arts, if whatever belt you start at, you were always there. And 5 years later, after going to the gym every single day, you were still at that beginning belt. You would not feel too good about yourself, because we have to progress as humans, right?
I got to tell you, I'm still a white belt, so I don't know what you're talking about.
You're a white belt mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. Like Dr. B, what you're saying, I love that. We have to be, in the comment I just saw here in the drop in the comments, we have to be evolving, if we have to be growing, we have to be in an economy of motion. Because if there's no motion, if there's no forward trajectory, then what's going to happen? We're going to be in a swamp. And in a world that's looking for the constructs of the magic ingredient, the secret ingredient, just to go back to the Kung Fu Panda reference for a minute, where's the secret ingredient? Where's the secret ingredient? The Dragon Scroll. And he looks in the Dragon Scroll and he's like, there's nothing in there. Oh, the secret ingredient is the reflection. It's you and I. It's what we carry in our design. And that's why, Sifu, what you're saying, what we put into our senses, what we're allowing our children to watch, what we're watching as well, what we're developing with what we look at is important, because what we behold, we become. So if I look at something long enough, if I look at myself in the mirror and say, I'm not going to be able to do this, I'm a grasshopper, I'm small, I'm not going to succeed, then I'm telling my subconscious that I'm a grasshopper. But if I look in the mirror and say, I am going to overcome, when I get on this call on the Seer Show with Sifu and Nikki and Dr. B, it's going to change someone's life. If I look in the mirror this morning and say that, then that seed's going to go out into the earth. We have to take a census of our senses, what we see, what we hear, what we smell, what we taste, what we touch. And in a world of constructs that's trying to pull our senses away, that's one of the main battlegrounds. It started from a young age. It started from my young age. Everyone here is young age. Our young age cartoons, that's why they call it programming. Programming starts at a young age. So we either program one way or we program another. And we have to keep that child in mind, even as we're adults.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's when it begins, when we're babies.
Yeah.
Or even before, in the womb. We're taking things in. We're taking in messages and emotions.
So you're talking about babies, and one of the things that I see a lot, go to the mall. Do yourself a favor, go to the mall. I'm a people watcher. So I'm watching people, and I'm watching what people are doing with their children in the strollers. Do you ever see a stroller with just a child like the old days? No, they have a tablet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they're already teaching the kid how to scroll. They're already teaching the kid how the moment doesn't matter anymore. Don't take it in. Don't soak things in. Just be brainwashed, if you will.
Yeah.
So, and to me, it's very sad when I see a kid in a stroller with a instrument that's not a toy. They don't have. I remember when my kids were on the stroller, there would be little things they can play with and things they can reach for and all these things. I don't see that anymore in strollers. I'm wondering if people have in the cribs, if instead of the little dangling toys, if they have like dangling iPhones or whatnot. I'm just curious nowadays. What are they doing? Because the imagination is the most important gift that we have. Yeah. And if we're taking it away at such an early age, I'm worried. I am worried.
Yeah. I'm super thankful that I was homeschooled. I don't have anything to say against anybody else who wasn't homeschooled, but I was homeschooled. And one of the things that my mother would do is she had the egg timer. And we had 30 minutes to 45 minutes to play our video games or watch our TV. And after that, it was, all right, that's up. You're going to the street, you're playing ball hockey with the neighbors, you're going out in the backyard and playing with nature or experimenting with your stuffed animals or reading books. You're doing that. One of my first memories was actually as a 6 or 7 year old, prophesied to my future, but sitting on the front lawn with my neighbor's dog called Ace, black Labrador, super friendly. And he was my first captive audience before speaking to any human being, was reading a storybook to a dog and talking to the dog. And the dog would just sit there going, just like no judgment, no critique, but just the joy of sharing stories with an animal. And even my stuffed animals that I had in my house, the collection of 120 of them, I practiced in front of my stuffed animals so that by the time I got to Africa when I was 18, I looked out into the audience and saw only stuffed animals. There wasn't fear. There was only stuffed animals, because at the end, we all have that soft spot inside of us. But that wouldn't have been possible if I didn't have my mother saying, this is how much time you get in front of technology. And now you need to experiment, you need to explore. And in a world that's pulling for our senses, I think we all need to take a step back and to the early years of our childhood and take that innovation out of that and look at, say, okay, what in my childhood is speaking to me about my adult development years. And that's why I think all of us have one of the 7 design types, which is why I've got the DNA of Design quiz and the links, because everybody's got a design type. So take the free quiz, guys. It's 5 minutes and it'll reveal your design type. But there you go.
I got to say, I love that, because when we think about creativity, I'm a professional speaker, right? I just spoke in Tampa as well. And I speak at a lot of different places. But one of the things that you just said is a lot of speakers do not practice speaking. And I love that you were speaking to the lab and or the stuffed animals, because there's no judgment. And yet, as professional speakers, sometimes we don't practice because we don't practice in front of another person because we're afraid of judgment.
Yeah.
I'd rather say, hey, here's my speech. What do you think of it? And so the practicing is an important aspect, and the imagination that you had when you were speaking to an actual audience and you said, they're not an audience, they're my stuffed animals, right? Actually, not one of them was a lion, right? So I think every day we should explore the possibility of something bigger than us. And that's where our imagination kind of kicks in. If we allow our mind to truly do what it's magic. I recently had a dream, because every night I ask God for guidance, every single night. And when I wake up in the morning, I ask for those people who are close to me, and I ask God to give them guidance and to watch over them. And I had this dream, and I walked into a bakery, and it was this older man, and I felt like I owed him money. So I'm there to pay him, and he stops me. He goes, I owe you money. So he gives me money. And I'm like, this is odd. I didn't expect anything from him. And then he gave me advice. And that's exactly what I had asked God to give me. So was that God in my dream as a baker? I believe it was. And the advice he gave me, oh my God, priceless. And if you want to know what that advice was, reach out to me. I'll tell you.
Oh, you're going to leave us hanging?
Oh my gosh. How dare you? Oh my gosh. One of the things that I would love to just say is where I see a disconnect, and where technology is disconnecting us, is a lot of folks, especially our younger folks, watch social media or they watch channels, and then they compare. They compare themselves and their lives and where they're at right now with whatever they're seeing online. And they feel like, well, I'm not enough because I'm not realizing that that person is showing their best life, not their whole life, just whatever happened that was best right then. And they think that that's every day for that person, that every day they get up and they're doing those things. And when we think about, I like to look at it, and I say this when I talk a lot, is I say that you are the answer to somebody else's prayer. Your impact in life is so huge if you're just available and intended to make the impact, because you are enough. God wants to use you today to impact somebody else's life. And if you can wake up like that instead of comparing, no matter where I'm at in life, now I can be a blessing to somebody else, or I can be, I don't know, I'm not going to walk around and say, I'm going to answer your prayer this way. I'm just walking around ready and able to be able to do that, instead of comparing and thinking I'm not enough and disconnecting with what my abilities are or what my purpose is. Now I'm walking around saying, hey, use me however you want, and I will be available. Now I want to grow. I want to get better because I want to be available for others when I'm able to do it. And so much of our kids' lives now are just based on comparing instead of going out and being that for folks.
Yeah, that is a really good point. And it made me think of when Caleb brought up hallucination before.
Mm-hmm.
If you're comparing yourself to what someone posts on social media, like a moment in time where they're on, on a cruise, or, they're out to dinner, it's like you're only seeing one glimpse. You're not seeing the full truth. I've seen people post, a picture, oh, look at these flowers my husband, got me, and she was having an affair, So it's like, you cannot look at what people post and compare yourself to them. And going back to presence, then you're not being present to your own life and what you can do from where you stand.
Yep. Comparison is the thief of joy. Mm-hmm. And when we compare ourselves to somebody else and look over our shoulders, just as Nikki and Dr. B, everyone here is saying, then it robs us of our joy. I wonder what would have happened if the great Marco Polo would have compared himself to the other boys around him in his school instead of having dreams to travel to other lands to see the great Kubla Khan in a far-off world. If he hadn't have done that, then he wouldn't have inspired a man that we know as Christopher Columbus, that was inspired by Marco Polo's writings to discover the New World. And if the New World wasn't discovered, then Sifu and Nikki and Dr. B and myself, we're probably not having this conversation from the confines of North America. See how it's all linked, it's all connected. It all comes back to design. And when we walk in our design, we're not comparing ourselves to somebody else, because comparison is the thief of joy. And we're taught by our culture to follow our passion, but that's bad advice. We should always follow our design. Passion is the fuel, not the car.
I've seen a lot of social media fitness people go to the gym, take a bunch of different selfies and videos, and they're posing and all this stuff, and then they leave. They don't actually work out.
What?
They don't actually work out. Yeah,
it's true.
They're doing all these things, and everybody thinks like, oh man, they must be at the gym all the time. Yeah, they're there to take some pictures. But some 20-year-olds, they're naturally fit just because they're alive. They have that gift, right? But watch them. If they don't really work out along the way, what's going to happen to them? So for me, yeah, I go to the gym. I'm not posing for anyone but me. I'm working out for me. I was there this morning. By 5 a.m., I'm at the gym. And it's funny that sometimes when I go to grab a piece of equipment, I got to kind of like move through these people who are trying to take pictures and videos. And I'm like, I just need to wait in front of you. Can you move out of the second, please? And they give me a dirty look because I'm actually going to lift the weights. I'm actually going to use the stuff they claim to be using.
Yeah.
And so be careful for anybody following somebody out there who claims to do something when they actually don't do it.
Wow, Sifu, the next time I'm on a dating app and I see the guy is in the gym and those are the pictures, I'm never going to assume he works out. Just now I'm going to think, oh, he just went to take a picture and then he's leaving.
Let's see your social media.
Wow.
Definitely have to look at everything that's on social media from that lens. From the lenses, maybe I can learn something from somebody, and this is really good stuff, and it can apply to my life. But how does it apply to my life? And if you stop the comparison trap, now comparison and competing are two different things. I love competition, and I love to be the best, and competition brings the best out of folks. Now I'm going to go do this, and I'm going to do it better, and then I'm going to show them that I did it. But then you have to show yourself doing the reps at the gym. Right, you have to actually show yourself, hey, let me film a little bit of this and show, and then do hey, this is the before picture and this is an after picture. Even if you're competing with yourself, that's when over time, social media and the person that you're following shows, are they consistent and are they committed? And if you only seen one post from them or 1.5 posts from them, and you haven't seen consistency, then that's probably not the person that you want to follow.
That's a great
I mean, even the people that rent fancy cars or take pictures at these houses, sometimes maybe they even know a real estate agent. They go, "Oh, you got that really cool house. Can I go take some pics in it before you sell it?" Think about that. Think about that, right? So when you're following somebody and you say, "Oh wow, look what they did," like you said, comparison is a nightmare. I don't want to be somebody else. I was put on in this world created by God to be me. Why do I want to be you? I'm going to let you be you. How's that? I'll let you be you.
It's a good deal. Yeah. Thank you, Sifu. I'm glad. I'll let you be you too, Nikki. I want you to be you. Dr. B, I think you're handling that pretty well, and I'll be me. It's in a world where it's like saying, okay, you have to be the next Taylor Swift. You have to be the next Tony Robbins. I kind of shudder when someone says, "Oh, like, you know, like, is what you do like part of the SeeLink? Are you like kind of like Tony Robbins?" And I'm like, not really, because Tony Robbins is Tony Robbins. I'm me. And the last thing that I want anyone to get as an impression is that I'm filling somebody else's shoes. At the same time, the last thing I want somebody else to be left with is that they have to be like Caleb either, because we live in a guru culture. And this guru culture is exactly what we're talking about here. Oh, I'm not going to go to the gym to pump the weights. I'm going to go there to take the selfies and the pictures and put together and talk about my victories. And one of my main tests, I love what we're talking about, testing leadership and whether we should follow somebody or not. One of the main tests that I do in my life when I look at somebody is that worth listening to is, are they talking about their failures as much as their triumphs? Are they talking about when they stumble as much as when they're on the mountain? Because the depth of my valley is proportionate to the height of my mountain. If all I'm doing is talking about the mountain, I'm not going to be able to minister to anybody in the valley. And if I'm talking about the valley and the woes of the valley, then people aren't going to have any hope to get to the mountain. I have to do both. And if I don't do both, I'm not going to reach anybody.
That's right.
So true. You think about even the person who would go and take the picture in the house or go to the gym and take the pictures at the gym. What is going on in their self-esteem? What is going on in their mind that's how they think they need? Because why are they doing it? Are they doing it because they want better relationships? Are they doing it for money? They're doing it for money. That's what Steve said. They just they go to the gym. How are they making the money by going to a house and taking a picture? I mean, I guess the videos are, but for some of those
because
people,
they say, "Follow me. I can show you how to get all this wealth." Right. Meanwhile, they don't have 2 pennies to rub together. Well, maybe they have 2, but that's all they have, pennies. Did you know that even I go to the store and the other day, something costs 4 cents. I didn't have 4 cents, so I gave them a full $1. So they're supposed to give me how much back?
96 cents.
They gave me 95. You know why? Do you know why they gave me 95? Because they don't carry pennies anymore. Pennies are starting to become obsolete. So you wanted my 4 pennies, but you wouldn't give me the 1 penny you owe me. So I thought, in the future, I'm going to say, I don't have 4 pennies. I mean, I'm being silly, but
use a credit card.
I should have said, well, then don't give me 95. You got to give me the whole 90.
Yeah.
I can't believe you found something for 4 cents. That my mind is like, that's where my mind is stuck. What was 4 cents?
That was the tax part. I think it was $28.04 or something like that.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
Nothing costs 4 cents, by the way.
I know. That's why I was like, wait a second. This cannot be.
I wish it did. Right? Back in 1903.
Yeah.
4 cents carried you a lot. You could probably stay in a hotel for 4 cents for the week.
It's all relative, right?
I got to tell you what a great conversation. Unfortunately, we are coming to an end. And I do have a coin that was just given to me at the event that I was just at, and it was by one of the speakers. And I think this one particular coin is a lot of money. in comparison to what I could have. I'm sure this is not even worth 4 cents. This is probably worth, $20 or something like that, or more. But I want to thank you guys for being here, and your time is way more valuable than 4 cents. You know that, right? And thank you. So what we want to do right now is just have you give you 45 seconds. Tell us why somebody should connect with you and so forth. Dr. B, we're going to start with you, and we'll put your website going across the bottom.
I love it. Well, thank you. Thank you for having me here today. It has been a pleasure. It has been fun. It's been great to meet you, Caleb, and Nikki, seeing you again, and Sifo, seeing you again. My name is Dr. B, and I help people become the very best that God put them on this earth to do. I'm an alignment coach. I do speaking. I write books. I do all those fun things. But I just want to leave you with knowing that you are absolutely 100% an answer to somebody else's prayer. And so as you go through your day to day, just make sure that you're looking at your day and saying, what can I do? How can I be available? How can I help somebody else? Love for you to go on my website, brianyarl.com, or Becoming the Person Universe, and just be a part of anything that we're doing. I can't wait to be back. Thank you for having me today.
Absolutely. All right. Caleb, you're up, my friend.
For sure. Sifu, Nikki, thank you so much for having me on the Seer Show. Dr. B, it's great to meet you as well. And for those of you who are curious about your individual design, you're like, I love what Caleb's talking about. I want to look into it more. You can see the link on the bottom here, calebmatthews.net, the DNA of Design quiz. It's a free quiz, 5 minutes. It'll take you through your design type. I'm curious to hear what that is so we can stay in touch. But everybody has a design. You and I, each of us have a design, and we are all put on this earth to reach the purpose to which we've been created, to connect the dots between our potential and our purpose. And the SeeLink is part of that, so I'd love to be in your journey. Reach out to me, take the quiz, you can connect with me. But all of us, everybody listening to this right now, everybody on the call, you will reach, not might, not could be, you will reach the purpose to which you've been created. And at the end of your life, you're going to be like King David, where he looked and he said, my life was full of days. And that's my declaration to you, that your life is not going to be half of days, quarter of days. It's going to be full of days. Whatever nation that you're tuning in from, thank you.
I love that. I love that.
That's
Thank
beautiful.
you. Nikki, you're up, my friend.
Thank you, Sifu. So I'm Nikki Ganjemi. You can connect with me at my website, nikkiganjemi.com. I work with high achievers who tend to get in their own way. I help them to change the patterns and programs that keep them working from a place of pressure so they can start to work from a place of self-trust and live their passion and purpose. And I'll turn it over to you, Sifu.
Yeah, I'm Sifu. I'm easy to find, sifurafael.com. I am the architect and founder of many stages, physical and virtual. I have events coming up all the time. I have one in May in New York. I have another one coming up in Atlanta, New York City experience, a mastermind experience. And I also help you with re-energizing and resetting not only your mindset, but your whole entire body. So connect with me. It's easy. Everybody do me a favor. Share this show with somebody who needed to hear today's message. Because guess what? Great messages were delivered today for sure. I'm going to listen to it again and again and again, because what I like to do is I'll put it in I'll go to my YouTube channel, I'll put it in my headset while I'm at the gym, and I listen to the shows again. So do yourself a favor and try that. Everybody, God bless. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you.